Welcome to Upstride, where smart people learn real strategies, think sharper, and spot opportunities others miss. There is no real get-rich-quick model in 2026. That fantasy still sells views, but it does not build income. What does exist is something far more useful. Business models that get to the same goal with less friction, less capital, and less daily chaos. And if the target is something realistic, like $100 a day online, the smartest move is not grinding harder. It is choosing the right model first. A lot of people still believe effort alone decides who wins. That sounds nice, but it is not true. Plenty of hard-working people stay stuck for years. The issue is not always work ethic. The issue is often the vehicle. Some business models demand too much complexity, too much capital, or too much manual effort before they produce anything meaningful. Others are simply better built for leverage. That is the real question here. Which online model gives the best return for the least operational pain for a beginner right now? Here's how to think about it. Every model can be judged on 5 things: startup cost, scalability, fulfillment, risk, difficulty. Startup cost is how much money is needed before momentum even begins. Scalability is whether income can grow without workload rising at the same speed. Fulfillment is how hard it is to deliver what gets sold. Risk is what can go wrong in money, time, or dependency. Difficulty is how much trial and error, skill, and complexity the model demands. Once those 5 filters are applied honestly, the answer gets much clearer. Start with dropshipping, because it is still one of the most promoted models online. On paper, it sounds clean. Pick a product, put it on the store, run traffic, let someone else handle shipping. But the practical reality is much uglier than the sales pitch. This model still depends on product research, ad testing, supplier reliability, shipping speed, refund pressure, and platform stability. It is not passive. It is a traffic and operations business disguised as simplicity. Now, this next part is important. Many beginners confuse low inventory risk with low business risk. That is the trap. Yes, not holding stock reduces one kind of risk, but it does not reduce platform risk, ad risk, supplier risk, policy risk, chargeback risk, or fulfillment headaches. A store can look easy from the outside and still become a mess behind the scenes. The usual place to start is Shopify, because it gives a beginner a workable storefront fast. But the common mistake is expecting a dependable $100 day result before a product, offer, and traffic source have been proven. Dropshipping can work. It is just not the laziest route. It is one of the most unstable ones. The second model is service work. That includes agencies, freelancing, done-for-you execution, and specialized offers. This model is less exciting, but it has one huge advantage. It can start with skill instead of capital. Someone who can edit short videos, write ad copy, build landing pages, run outreach, manage social media, do lead generation, or set up automations already has something sellable. That is why service work is often one of the fastest ways to start making money online. Where do most people start? Usually platforms like Upwork or direct outreach. And the logic is simple. Businesses already pay for outcomes. More leads, better content, better emails, better ads, better websites, better systems. That means the demand is real. And one client can often cover the $100 a day target much faster than most beginner product models can. But service work still is not the laziest business. It is often the fastest cash flow business, which is different. Fulfillment is heavier. Client communication is heavier. Revisions are heavier. If the work stops, the money often slows down too. So this is a strong starting model for momentum, confidence, and quick cash. But it is not the cleanest long-term choice if the goal is maximum leverage with minimum daily involvement. The common mistake is building a service business that depends entirely on personal time. At that point, it stops being leverage and turns into a job with invoices. The third model is affiliate marketing. This one looks attractive because the startup cost is low and fulfillment is easy. There is no inventory to buy, there is no product to support, there is no customer delivery burden beyond the content that drives the click. In that sense, affiliate marketing is one of the cleanest models on paper. But here's where most people miss the real issue. Affiliate marketing does not fail because the model is fake. It fails because it depends on traffic and trust. No audience means no clicks. No clicks means no commissions. That is the bottleneck. The model works best when attached to a real content engine. That could be YouTube, TikTok, an email list, a niche blog, or even a faceless search-based channel. And yes, $100 a day is possible. But usually that happens after content gains traction, not before. The common mistake is expecting affiliate links to create income by themselves. They do not. Traffic creates the opportunity. Trust creates the conversion. So, affiliate marketing is excellent as a side income layer. It can become powerful when paired with content. But as a first primary business model for a beginner with no audience, it is usually too dependent on momentum that does not yet exist. The fourth model is software, or SaaS. This is where many people get trapped by the prestige of the category. They see huge software companies and assume software must be the smartest path. For a beginner, it usually is not. Yes, software is highly scalable. Once something works, the model has massive leverage. That part is true. But beginner-friendly and scalable are not the same thing. Software is difficult because it combines product risk, technical risk, market risk, and distribution risk all at once. Even if no-code tools lower the barrier, the hard part is still not the tool. The hard part is building something people actually want and will continue paying for. That means validation, positioning, retention, support, and product improvement. If someone insists on trying software, the smartest starting point is not building a full product. It is validating a narrow pain point with a prototype first. But for most people chasing a practical online income goal, software is too slow, too heavy, and too uncertain. The common mistake is building before demand is validated. That burns months and often leads nowhere. So, after stripping away the hype, what is left? The model with the best current balance is AI-assisted digital products, not bloated fake courses, not lazy PDFs with no value, not generic junk made in one afternoon. The real opportunity is useful digital products built around a clear problem, packaged simply, sold on creator-friendly platforms, and improved with AI as an assistant instead of a substitute for thinking. This is where the math gets interesting. A digital product can be a template pack, checklist bundle, mini guide, swipe file, toolkit, workbook, niche resource library, or short workshop. The infrastructure is much easier now than it used to be. Platforms like Gumroad, Payhip, Teachable, and Shopify make hosting and selling digital products far simpler than the old custom-build route. That changes one of the hardest parts of the business immediately. The product can be created once and sold again and again without shipping, inventory, or client calls. But here is where most people mess up with digital products. they think the money comes from the format. It does not. It comes from solving a clear problem for a clear buyer. AI can speed up outlining, drafting, naming, organizing, packaging, and research. But AI does not magically create a useful product by itself. The value still comes from relevance, clarity, specificity, and outcome. So, where should someone start? Start narrow, not broad, not fitness. Try something like a meal prep template for busy nurses. Not marketing. Try a cold email follow-up pack for B2B freelancers. Not finance. Try a simple cash flow tracker for Etsy sellers or small online stores. The narrower the pain point, the easier it becomes to explain the product, package the result, and convert the buyer. Now, let's make the income target practical. $100 a day is not magic. A $10 product needs 10 daily sales. A $29 product needs about 4. A $49 bundle needs around 2 on average. That is still work, but compared with physical product logistics, full-time client fulfillment, or software development, it is a cleaner and more realistic target. A beginner can start with one small, useful product, validate it, then add a second, then create a bundle, then build a low-ticket to mid-ticket ladder. That is how this model becomes a business instead of a one-off upload.
So, what is the actual execution plan?
First, choose a market with visible pain. Creators, freelancers, job seekers, small business owners, e-commerce sellers, coaches, students, niche professionals. Second, identify one repeated problem in that market. Third, build the smallest useful product that solves a part of that problem. Fourth, host it on a platform that fits the format. Fifth, drive traffic through short-form content, YouTube search content, email, communities, or a faceless content channel. Sixth, improve the product based on questions, refunds, confusion points, and buyer behavior. That loop is what turns a small digital product into a reliable asset.
And because this needs to stay honest, here are the mistakes to avoid. Do not create broad products nobody really needs. Do not let AI produce generic sludge and call it value. Do not build a giant course when a smaller toolkit would sell faster. Do not ignore distribution. And do not confuse low startup cost with zero effort. The lazy part is not doing nothing. The lazy part is choosing a model where the effort compounds instead of resetting every day. That is the real reason digital products beat the alternatives for most beginners right now. Fulfillment is lighter than services. Risk is lower than software. Margins are cleaner than dropshipping. Ownership is better than relying only on affiliate links. And the path to $100 a day is more direct if the product solves a real problem and the traffic system is consistent. So, what is the final ranking? If the target is the easiest, realistic path to online income in 2026, software is the heaviest. Dropshipping is still possible, but much harder and less stable than the internet likes to pretend. Affiliate marketing is low risk but heavily traffic dependent. Service work is excellent for fast cash, but labor heavy. AI-assisted digital products offer the best balance of low capital, repeatable sales, simple fulfillment, and fast validation. That does not make them effortless. It makes them efficient. If the goal is $100 a day, the smartest move is not chasing the loudest trend. It is choosing the model that gives the most leverage for each hour invested. Right now, that means building a useful digital product around a narrow problem, selling it on infrastructure that already exists, and using content to drive repeatable demand. Not because it sounds flashy. Because when the models are judged honestly, it is the one that makes the path simpler.
If you want the practical next step, watch this next video.
Subscribe to Upstride, where smart people learn real strategies, think sharper, and spot opportunities others miss.